We're absolutely loving the recent seller activity from Tuesday throughout to Friday. You know, we've been riding these sells on Nasdaq and obviously on US30 too. The S&P 500 and Nasdaq, you know, they were down 0.5 and the Dow Jones fell like over 400 points on Wednesday. And obviously you can see that we did write down this trade over here, and all the sectors were literally red. You know, today you can even see that Nasdaq is down 0.3, you know, the S&P 500 0.1, and US30 is trying to, like, you know, pick up itself a little bit, you know, ranging over here. But we are seeing that the recent selling activity was absolutely crazy for this current week. You know, we enjoyed these sales, absolutely beautiful. It's good to stay up to date with the economic data, especially if you're trading the US stocks, because, you know, the fundamentals are always going to be the catalyst that is driving, you know, the market in any direction that it will be moving at that current point, right? But how you guys doing? I am doing absolutely lovely. As you can see, we've had a really beautiful week. We've just been riding the sales on Nasdaq and US30. The US30 trade being the craziest of all times because, you know, the move was absolutely just beautiful. In this video, I'm actually just going to show you how to tell when support is about to break, because that's exactly what we had on US30, and the trade just dropped after breaking, you know, the support levels, and then we just rode the trade right to the bottom to where the current price is. But before we do all of that good stuff, if you're new to the channel, welcome. We trade Nasdaq over here. If you're returning, welcome back. You know what's up. Don't forget to hit the like button, turn your post notifications, and subscribe to the channel, you feel me? Because when we hit 10,000 subscribers, I'm going to be doing a lit giveaway, funding 10 different accounts and giving 10 different subscribers free mentorship, right? You don't want to miss that. I'm going to start by asking you a question, right? With the market like this, do you think that the price will, you know, reverse at support right here, or the price will break out and keep going lower? I'm going to give you 5 seconds to think. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. There is no way you could have been able to tell that if you don't even understand, you know, the two types of movements that happen when a price is approaching a support or a resistance levels, right? So you need to first understand that to be able to determine whether the price is going to break out or to reverse at that zone, right? So we have what we call a power move and we have what we call a crawler move, right? As the power move already says, right, it's like a power move, like it's a momentum, like going down to the resistance zone or to a support level over here. But that's not the case that we had on US30 over here. So we're going to talk about the crawler move that we had on US30, and it is literally, as it says, crawler move, right? It is crawling towards the support. It didn't go to the support level with so much momentum, which is the power move, right? If we go on to a higher time frame, right, you can see that we were having our market trending to the downward side over there, and then it was have a series of lower highs over here like that, and then it came to a zone where it broke out of that zone, right? So whenever, you know, a support or a resistance is broken, it turns into the opposite, right? If it was a resistance, it now turned into a support, right? So obviously a lot of traders would be looking to buy when the market comes to this zone, but then if you notice what was happening, it was having a build up at that particular zone. So when you see a build up at a resistance or at a support zone, there is a high chance that the market is going to break out of that zone than reversing, right? So if it wanted to reverse, it would just tap on that zone and reverse, right? So we weren't looking at the markets like that on Monday, right? And then we've seen the price approaching this zone, right? This was Monday, you know, and then we already knew that this is a little crawling market, right? You can see the market crawling over from the previous week, and we know that on the 4-hour time frame, that is a resistance that was broken and has now turned into support. And then we can see that the market is crawling at that support level, right? So we had our ranging market like this marked over here. So this one obviously is what we're considering as the ranging market, right? So Monday, it was a holiday, we had bear movement in the market, and then we were waiting for this, you know, the moment we noticed that no, the market is a crawling market currently, right, that a lot of traders would want to call a range, right? We just were now waiting for the breakout of this market. And if you notice, I did call out the signal right at this zone. You know, when I saw this candlestick pattern, I literally said we should buy Nasdaq at 39.60, right? This is the literal zone where I called out the trade, you know, because I had already seen the sellers stepping in at this zone, and then it starts building up again at this zone. I already knew that, you know, the selling momentum has stepped into the market, and what what we're waiting for is now about to happen, right? If I can check it out over here, 39.06 is when we said to sell, Nasdaq, and then obviously this is how the trade was looking like over here, and we rolled down this selling trade right to the bottom over there, right? Whenever you see the market having a crawling move at a resistance zone or at a support zone, right? Imagine you are a seller, right? And you are selling, the market, you're selling it at this zone, and then you're even willing to sell it lower, and even willing to sell it even lower, and to make matters worse, it's at a resistance or at a support zone, right? That makes no sense, because it shows that you are expecting that the price is going to break out of this zone, right? Because there's no one who would sell at this zone and expect the price to go higher, right? If you are one of the market makers, you won't make such a move, right? So for the mere fact that the sellers are willing to sell the price, they were willing to drop the price low here, right? They were willing to sell there, and then it even dropped, and they were willing to sell here, right? Okay, so they were willing to sell at this zone, right, at a low price, and then they were willing to sell even lower at this zone, willing to sell even lower at this zone, and then at this zone they were willing to even still go lower, right? And the fact that we are at a support zone right over here, it shows that the sellers have confidence of this market breaking out of this support or resistance zone, right? So whenever you see this type of formation in the market, right, you can now sit there and say, yes, there is a chance that the resistance or the support is going to break, right? So the reason why I am saying resistance or support is the same scenario if it's on an uptrend and the buyers are pushing the market to the top, is just vice versa as to what I am explaining right over here, right? So basically with that thought process, you would have wrote down the trade to the bottom right over there. That is not all, because you already know that, the new traders and all these other retail traders, right, when they are looking at the price coming to a support level, they're like, oh, price is at a support level, we are ready to buy. And where are they placing their stop losses, right? They are going to be buying at this zone, right at the support. Some of them might even buy higher at this zone, right? And then where are the stop losses? The stop losses are right below, they're right below, according to all the other strategies, risk 1:3 risk to reward ratio, right? The stop losses are going to be right here. And then the sellers, they're forgetting that the sellers are literally saying that we are willing to push this market down to the bottom, regardless of the fact that we are sitting at a support zone, right? So this even increases the chance of the market going down to this zone, right? So this can even count as a liquidity zone. And then just for that reason, the market will just eventually, push down to the bottom. There's a higher chance all the time when you see this kind of setup, for the market to drop down, and for the resistance or the support to actually break. For people that have sell stop orders right at the bottom here, they're going to just get triggered, right? And then, whenever these sell stop orders are triggered, then you see, so much momentum stepping in, so much selling momentum stepping in right at the zone right over here, right? You can see that is why the market just pushed down with so much pressure, right? Because a lot of buyers were taken out, and then a lot of sellers were stepping in, and then the price kept dropping, and this is how we caught this beautiful move on US30 that we've been riding from Tuesday throughout to today, Friday. And since it's Friday, we're actually just going to call that a week and close the trades. We don't want to hold the trades over the weekend. Some of these prop firms do not allow that. So that's one of the many ways to identify whether a support or a resistance zone is going to break. And in this video, I did show it to you guys with a trade that I actually took, not by myself, but with the whole Inner Circle team with over 50 members, right? But if you did enjoy that video, don't forget to hit the like button, turn your post notifications, and subscribe to the channel. You feel me? With that, it's been Tino, and I'm peace.